Okay, I'll figure it out. Thank you, dear. I'm like, if anything else could, like, this is just awful. Like, is it obvious I'm not happy? Okay. Anyway, okay. Okay, guys. So I'm sorry. I feel like I've lost like half my audience. But thank you guys for rolling with me and coming back. I'm like really mad now. Anyway, so yeah, guys, happy Wednesday. We're gonna do the best we can. Hey pineapples, hey Coco. Guys, yesterday in the video I did last night, I basically let you guys know what the giveaway was. Coco, one of our mods, sponsored a giveaway. It's happening on Friday. That will announce the winner. Watch the video yesterday, Dear John. Dear John will, in the beginning of that video, will tell you everything you need to know if you would like to earn a $25 Cash App. So, Coco sponsored the bulk of it, and then I just bumped it up to 25. But thank you, Coco. Coco loves our community and always wants to give to the subscribers because she enjoys, I don't know why, but I'm assuming because Coco enjoys modding. And we certainly do appreciate her because she does such a good job along with everybody else. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, I know it's been a crazy couple of days. Gosh, I wish I could see what was going on. See, I'm like all discombobulated right now because this is not my normal setup. Okay. Okay. Farrah told me I needed to reset my computer. Did the other room shut down? Am I showing like I'm live all over town? Am I live all over the YouTube streets now with all these weak Wi-Fi looking lives? Okay. Okay. Here you guys are. All right. All right, I'm going to move you guys one more time. Hopefully I am not going to drop my iPad. I'm going to put you guys here for once and for all. Don't be alarmed. I'm going to move my computer. What is going on? Am I like timing out? Because it's not. Something's weird with our internet today. Okay. Farrah, did you get on 5G? And it works. Okay. Something's going on. I fell asleep. I got all caught up. Maria 29. Good. Okay. Guys, I'm just going to pay attention to here. If I can't see your comments, I'm sorry. It does kind of throw me off because I'm so used to talking to you guys and looking at the comments simultaneously, but I don't know if that's going to happen today. This shit is weird. This normally doesn't happen. Let me see if I can do it on my phone. Okay, good. Okay. All right. So, could I be any more up close to you guys? I can see she's vlogging in the beginning, and I didn't believe her. She needs money. She needs money, and people feel sorry for her. You know, it's weird. Something weird is going on with Olivia, so I'm assuming that's who we're talking about. I mean, everybody needs money, right? But I think most, like, based on what's going on, we're talking about Olivia at this moment. I'm going to sit back. Okay. So annoying. Okay. Um... Okay, so yeah, I'm not really sure what happened last night. Camila, if I don't know if she was with Brandon, I don't know if she was with her friend, I don't know who she was with. This morning, so I was asleep. I woke up this morning, 5 o'clock. One of my really reliable contributors, sent me something on Instagram and basically was like, I got something for you. And I went ahead and watched it, and I was like, oh shit, like, oh my God. So it was really kind of like, really, Olivia, what is going on? And I know some people were saying that they didn't believe it because it didn't look like someone. Look, you have to really look at this video. There is no way, I don't care how much Olivia thinks she's strong and can beat someone up, or how big or how small she is. I don't think that that even matters at this point. I think at the end of the day, that door was busted in from the outside. The hinges, the framing around the door was broken off. It's not like someone just like chiseled it off with a hammer. It clearly it clearly looks like someone kicked in the door, like literally kicked in the door. So it's not a situation where she could have done that. I don't care. Now, she could have paid somebody, like if she uses the same neighborhood theater that Jasmine uses for CPS reenactments, then maybe that's the case. I don't think so, though, just to be honest. I'm halfway joking there, but I'm being honest. I don't think that that is the case. Of course, I'm looking for something around to maybe prop this up a little higher, and then I think I'll feel better about how this is sitting. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I do not think her disposition was so suspicious. I don't think her disposition was suspicious, Maria, and I'm gonna tell you why. Elizabeth is a clown. Okay. Okay. She's a clown. She's clowny. She's clownish. Um, Olivia acts silly, and I'm not sure if, like, under stressful situations, that she is the type of person that laughs, but clearly she's acting silly, you know. She's 30, but she's not super mature. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I think that's just what it is. And for someone to have just had their house, it's like when Jasmine had someone break into her house, allegedly, and she said that someone broke in while she was sleeping. She felt someone feeling on her butt and ran out. I was just like, did that really happen? Like, are you messing with us here? It was a joke. And I think Olivia doesn't take stuff too seriously. I don't know if this was Gerard. I don't know if this was Brandon. I don't know if it was Boo Boo the Fool. I don't know if it was damn Pookie. Like, we don't know who it was, but we know this, that, I mean, what I do know, and what I would say I probably know for sure, there's no way she could have kicked in that door herself. Not to mention, when you're kicking in the door, where's your neighbors? So if the neighbors were asleep, but the neighbors would have come out, like, why are you kicking in your own door? I just don't see her doing that. Um, why was she dressed in going out clothes? Because she probably was outside. She probably got the kids to sleep and maybe was standing outside having a cocktail. She didn't ever say that. Camila, do you know? Anna, I don't know if you were watching. I don't know who else was watching. If you can put your hand up if you want to say or not. But I suspect, because she seemed like she was already a little tipsy, that she may have already been, she was already drinking. So the fact that she was drinking at that moment, I think that was what she was either drinking on, or she just said, you know what, you guys kicked in my door. I'm just going to go ahead and have another one. I'm home. So, and you know what? I mean, let's not forget alcohol is legal and it's okay to drink in your house. She's of age. Um, but it's possible she could have had a guest and maybe they were standing outside. My mom always taught me that if it's someone who you can't bring inside, don't. Like, basically, if you got to stand outside, like, you probably shouldn't even have them to your house, I guess was what the point was. Um, yeah, I don't know. I do see her drinking. I don't want to say she's drinking too much because I don't know how much she's drinking, because in all honesty, I haven't been watching like every single time she drops something. Um, but it's a call out, and I'm sure it'll be very well received if you want to tell her that, in the form of a block. Olivia doesn't want to make any corrections about herself until Olivia is ready to make corrections about herself. Hey, Bren. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, True. Hey, Miss Mabes. If I've forgotten, if I have not said hello to you, hey, as you can see, we are doing this on the fly because that's what we do. We accommodate. We are flexible over here. It's not, doesn't have to just be one way. So, today the internet's acting. She wouldn't have seen who kicked the door in if she was at home. Wouldn't she have seen who kicked in the door if she was at home? She was at home. Her kids were asleep. She said she was in her bedroom. I don't know if you guys watched the whole thing. It starts out, she says that her door was kicked in. She said she was in her bedroom. She said she was not asleep. But the kids stayed asleep. So take that how you want. She was in the house. She was in the bedroom. She didn't really go into the part of, and I heard some banging and booming, but she said it just flew open. Like, that thing came right open. You'll hear her say that. Whomever it was that ran into the house and she was talking to the police came and got 2 of her 3 phones. What Olivia has 3 phones for, I don't know. And it could be the kids' phones. I don't know. I don't have 3 phones. I've had 2 phones before because I had a work phone. But these days, that's all consolidated. I mean, Cisco, Jabber, Skype Business. I mean, people don't always have 2 phones anymore. I think at one time maybe I did have 3 because I had my own personal business phone and a work phone. But now everything's integrated into your computers with the Cisco Jabber systems and all that kind of stuff, and GoToMeeting and Zoom. So, like, are people even still getting phones unless you have to take calls like on the fly? But these apps now, you don't really need to have 2 phones. Even, you may feel like you need your own phone, but you can get a phone number through Google. And so whatever. So I don't know what she's doing with 3 phones. It makes no sense. That's 3 bills. That's a lot of money on telecommunications to me, as someone who's like, I'm a single mother and I have to watch my money. So I don't know. These phones, because Gerard was on the line, and I believe she takes it back, the phone from him. Look, this is my opinion on that. Thank you all of my mods. Thank you all of the members. Thank you all of my subscribers. If you're in the bushes, thank you so much. Don't forget to like this live. I can't even see how many likes I have at this point. But if you have not liked this live and you are here because you do normally like this live, and we are making lemonade today because things are not going right, go ahead and smash that like button for me, please, because I certainly would appreciate it. And I'm trying to make it do what it do without my glasses. So let's see what's going on here. See if I can pull up. Oh my goodness. Guys, I think it's my allergies or something. This is upcoming. Yeah, I have all these lives on here. Let me see if I can get to the studio. It's fine. I was trying to get to the studio, but gosh, guys, it's just so aggravating. Okay. Where are we? I was trying to see how many likes we've got going. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, look, we've talked about this so many times, and I think she kind of misinterpreted maybe something I said or maybe something she'd heard, possibly if she was even listening to my channel. I don't know. But as a married couple, if you guys have a phone plan, like, isn't that his phone plan too? Like, why is it always something to treat a man like a child? And I'm not just saying like, oh, feel sorry for Gerard, like, oh, Gerard fan club or anything. But I'm just like, girl, you're a grown ass woman. If you have a phone for him because it's on your family plan, then, and you guys aren't together anymore, then you might just need to tell him, look, your phone's getting cut off in 30 days, period. I don't need the phone anymore. We're not together. I'm not paying for your telecommunications. I want you to be able to get in touch with your kids. So I'm going to keep your phone on my plan for the next 30 days and then it's over. Why in the world, if you are holding and keeping an account for him, that's dumb. It's dumb. Stop complaining about doing stuff for someone. Number one, if you don't want to do it, because at the end of the day, nobody hates anything more than someone that does stuff for them that is constantly throwing it in their face. That is like the wackest shit that you can do. Okay? If you're going to do something, do it. Period. Do it. Put it in the wind and let it go. The man's your husband. You need to get in contact with him so that he can pick these babies up because you want everything to be fair. You want stuff to be fair. You want him to participate. But yet you know that you displaced him. He had a good job. Remember he had a good job? Remember that job he had that he gave up to come to Florida to come live with you? Okay? Remember when he was paying all the bills over there at the house? But you sat up there at Niecy's house and said he was boring, he's this, he's that, he's whatever. And Niecy, you know, gave you some married woman advice and all that kind of stuff one day. And why bother? Just, I mean, it's a phone. I mean, I think to me, and I'm sorry guys, and I don't want to come off the wrong kind of way, but to me, when you don't really have anything, you argue over like trivial things like telephones. Like, argue who's going to keep the house, who's going to keep a car. The fact that Gerard is driving your mother's car, that's her car. It's not your car, it's her car. And obviously she doesn't mind him driving it, or else when she got there, she would have pulled the deed and she would have confiscated it. She could have called the sheriff and said, my son-in-law is in possession of a vehicle that I no longer want him to be in possession of anymore. And I need for you guys to help me repossess my property. Or if you felt like you couldn't do that, then you call a repo company and you've got a deed. You say your son-in-law has a vehicle, or a tow truck company. You show them you've got ownership to this vehicle and you go get it picked up. Just like if you didn't pay a car note. Yeah, they don't have to call you and say, hey, Olivia, you didn't pay your bill in 3 months. Yeah, we're coming to get the car. Is that okay? No. So Gerard is borrowing a car and he's no longer privy to that car anymore. Well, you call AAA or whomever, or repo company if you want to, and say, I've got a car over at such and such in Maine, or such and such in Blue Velvet Highway. Here's the, it's my vehicle. It's registered to me. I would like for you to go pick it up and bring it to whatever address. This is not hard. So honestly, the fact that he has a vehicle and he still has it, and he's driving my mother's car. So what? So what? You guys let it, I mean, he's your husband. What you have, he has. And for you to be nickel and diming because you have been paying his way, well, how about when he was paying your way and you didn't even have a job and don't have a GED? And then you set everything up to lie about having a GED. Now, the life you live may not be your own. I don't know if you know timestamps or anything on that video, but she dropped the tea on Monday about not having the GED. So, but I know Olivia since took that down, and I'm not sure if that's in my live or not. I did not catch that, not my live, but the video I put up with her video, because I kind of skimmed through it. I watched some key parts, but I got bored with it and I couldn't watch the whole thing. So I don't know if she said that Stella co-signed the truck for Gerard. Olivia is not telling the entire truth. So it's his car that she co-signed on. So maybe she's either, so she's co-owner. So she's maybe a co-borrower. Okay, so yeah, that, I mean, Olivia, come on. Stop trying to, look, my thing is this. You don't like him. You don't love him anymore, or you love him, but you don't like him. Stop giving people extra reasons, because some of the stuff that people say in the comment section about him, it makes you look foolish that you are even dealing with this man. Because it's like, if it was all that bad, why were you even with him? And the fact that you want to diminish his worth on a consistent basis, and he doesn't really ever say anything about you, makes you look like the one not only who is hurt, the one who is bitter, the one who is salty, the one who is like looking real dumb out here. If Gerard's name is on the truck of the vehicle, it's a civil issue and needs to be handled in court. So I wasn't aware of that. The dialogue has been that he's driving my mother's truck, period. So if he owns the truck and she has co-signed for the loan, there's nothing that he can really do. I mean, she can't force him to take the whole entire vehicle. I don't think. I mean, can she force him to sign over or sell the truck? Like, I don't want to be on this loan anymore. I don't think you can do that. She signed to be on the loan, so as long as he keeps up the payments, I don't think that there's anything she can do. As long as he's paying the note, yeah, and he doesn't want to sell it, that's his business. And even if he decides not to pay the note, guess what happens? Your credit gets screwed up as a 50, 60-year-old woman, however old you are. That's your problem. Maybe if your son-in-law can't afford to buy the car that he wants, then you tell him to buy the car that, I mean, gosh, guys, I don't know. At a certain point in life, if you can't afford it, and I'm just going to be honest here, if you can't afford it, don't get it. If you're married and your spouse wants to co-sign for something for you, then that's fine. If your spouse has to co-sign for it, then just let your spouse put it in their name. I mean, you guys are sharing 50-50 credit anyway, I would imagine. It's ridiculous. I just, the way the finances are being handled, it's absolutely, me personally, I don't know that I would co-sign for my son-in-law's vehicle. Like, the fact that you're in your 20s and you're married to my daughter and you guys have 3 kids, I would be highly disappointed if you haven't spent some time trying to rebuild your credit, so that you can go buy a car that you need. Or you need to go to the buy here, pay here lot, get what you can afford, get what's within your credit, and then when you build your credit up and start making more money, then you can go and buy a car yourself. What bothers me is that people, and I've been saying this since last week when I was talking about the easy button, a lot of you guys, especially these three women, want to go out of their way, over, above, and beyond to make shit easy for these guys, and then they're the bad guy. Okay? So, I mean, I don't even know if I need to say anything more on that. Like, you set it up to be so easy. Like, you're mad because Gerard's not coming over, Gerard's not doing this or that. You should have stayed your ass in Florida. If he needed to see his kids, he could have bought a plane ticket and came to Florida. You know, you keep hitting that damn easy button for him. Make everything so damn easy, but then you want to complain he's not being a man. Well, you're not giving him an opportunity to flex and grow. You're not giving him an opportunity to step up because you are so afraid to be let down. You set up a situation where you let your own self down because he's trying to get to where he needs to be. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But you're so busy speedballing and trying to wear a pants and the skirt in the family that when he's saying he wants us to get a house, instead of letting him work with you and you two work together as a couple to go get a house, you just go and get into a buy here, pay here program. And because you say you put down $13,000 on your credit, I'm just going to be honest here. Now, I haven't always had great credit. I had to work at having good credit, okay? Because like a lot of people in college, I screwed up my credit. And there's been times where I spent too much money. But, you know, that's okay. That's my business. But at the end of the day, when I'm telling you that when you're saying that you got a lease to buy program and that your credit wasn't very good and you had $13,000 to put down, that means, was your credit like below a 550? Because you can get a loan with a 580, maybe even a 581. So your credit had to be abysmal for you to have to put down $13,000 on a rent-to-own house. Like, your credit must have been a 300, or you just didn't have any. It was at zero. I don't know what it was, but that tells me, and based on the information that was put out there about this house, I'm thinking to myself, was it like $250 a square foot? Like, the price was so jacked up on that little house. I mean, it was cute. It was small. And I'm familiar with small houses because I just sold a house the exact same size. And I'm thinking to myself, it looks like a decent neighborhood, but it didn't look like the next newest hottest, where maybe stuff is going for $250, $300 a square foot. You know, like certain little niche areas where it's popping near like uptown or near a certain area. It looked regular, okay? And it looked nice. It had a pool, but pools don't really add value. Sometimes houses with pools are harder to sell, which is why it was rent to buy. Also, there's something called C-19 going around, and maybe people weren't moving and buying houses that they were staying put, staying out of the way, staying safe. And you had to put down $13,000 on a rent-to-own house, because I'm telling you, to go buy a house outright, even with bad credit, and maybe get like an 8% rate on a mortgage with $13,000 down, that's about a 5% on roughly a $250,000 home, where you would have had equity immediately going into the home. Even having PMI and all of those things, you would have had a 5% down enough for FHA on up to a $250,000 home. And I'm just using some rough math right now. Okay. And your payment may have even still been less than what you told us your rental payment is. Now, with that high rate that I just quoted, yeah, probably it would have been a little bit off the chain, but it still would have been yours. You would have had the right to write off your interest on your taxes. See, what you don't know is, Olivia, which I'm surprised your mother didn't tell you as a real estate person, is that renting to own a house, yeah, you didn't buy the house. You know why? Because there's no deed in your name. You have no you were not, you didn't have the rights and privileges to write off the mortgage insurance because you're not paying a mortgage, you're paying rent. Okay? So that all the way around, like you said, you got ripped off. Well, you allowed yourself to sign up for another bad deal, okay? Because, yeah, the realtor wasn't a scammer. The realtor was just making their money off of people who don't know any better about how to spend their money. Because the last thing I would do with $13,000 is put it down on a rent-to-own house when you, even with probably some of the worst credit, could still get something with $13,000. I don't know. And maybe you telling people about this $13,000, is that what got your door kicked in? Did you got a stack? You got a couple stacks in your closet or stacks in your underwear drawer at the house or something? You running your mouth to the wrong people about money that you have? I mean, I don't know. But let's get back on that. Why are you running your mouth? Why are you getting your door kicked in at 2:30 in the morning? Because to me, I would be shocked if Gerard did that, because I don't know. I don't know why he would want to get into trouble in his hometown. But that doesn't make any sense to me. But if that's what he did and that's how it's going down. But what I would say is this, you are constantly speedballing and trying to make a mockery out of this guy and make him look stupid every single chance you get. And I just want to call it out again. Or maybe she's not a realtor, but she said she was into real estate. She said she was a housekeeper and went to people's homes to clean. That's the real estate that she was in. So then everybody's in real estate. So as long as you step into a home, now you're in real estate. Like, oh, so she meant that she was in real estate, just like I'm sitting in real estate that I own right now. Everybody is in real estate. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Surely that was a joke. That can't be, right? The doors seem to have a lot of locks. So, Randa, what it looked like to me is, of course, you have your turn to open up the door. You have your deadbolt, your double-sided deadbolt. And in a lot of apartments, you have that safety lock, the lock that only locks when you're in the house. So you'll see that in larger cities, sometimes high crime areas, sometimes just newer places. Because, again, you know what? People will rent apartments. They fall out with their boyfriend and the boyfriend has a key. But if you've got that safety lock, well, guess what? Even with a key, you can't get in. When that safety lock is on, it's one of those locks where it just locks from the inside. There's no key and you can't lock it on the outside. It's only, you know, like that extra lock that you might turn when you go get in the shower or something. You know what I mean? When that's, you know, so, I'm just surprised that someone's kicking in the door that a neighbor wouldn't have woken up, that wouldn't wake up a neighbor, but maybe she's on a floor where nobody lives. I don't know. Damn, Coco, no. Don't go to Olivia's house to sleep or we flip homes, and I doubt her mom is in the field. Yeah, I mean, it's just bad advice. I mean, Bran, like I said, I was just giving some rough numbers off the top of my head, but that's a 5%. I mean, I was kind of scratching my head when she said $300,000 in Tampa, Florida. I mean, I'm sure that there's real estate in Tampa that's in the 150 to 200 range that would have been more in her range. Now I don't know what kind of neighborhoods those are, but I've been to Orlando, and it doesn't strike me as that it's just flat out 20 square miles of like $1 million homes. So I would imagine that you've got all different ranges of real estate. So, you know, if you couldn't afford this $300,000 home, that really you probably could have got a lot more for your money not in that program, and would have just, I mean, the one thing that gets me, guys, and I'm just going to park to the side for 1 second. Guys, don't doubt yourselves to the point that you always diminish your own self and go and seek out programs. I mean, I think that's just the mindset that Olivia is in. Sometimes it's good to just act as if until you are. Go to the bank, go to a mortgage company, call, you know, I don't know. I mean, my real estate agent hooked me up with a mortgage broker, and they sell from all different kinds of banks. So I didn't really even have to do that, but you could just walk into your local bank. You can get with a real estate agent, and the real estate agent usually has 2 or 3 mortgage brokers that deal with many lenders that will find you money. Because keep in mind, buying a house is not charity. These people are in the business. The real estate agent wants to sell a house. The mortgage broker wants to sell you money because they make money off of that transaction. And the bank wants your business because they are going to make money off of managing the life of that loan for the next 30 years. Because if you never sat down and put pen to paper or pencil to paper on how much you are actually going to pay when you look at every single payment, you make a lot of money. So they're not trying to sell you a house. When you come in, they are trying to figure out what they can get you. And if you need to be in a program, they're going to put you into a program that's actually going to secure you a loan, not give you a rent to own. That's just not going to happen. So I don't know. That was a poor decision. That was and you take that however you want, however I said it. That was a bad decision. Now, for some people, if rent to own has worked for you and you've got a great story to tell about that, then awesome. Put it down in the comments. Let us hear about it. And I'm sure it works for some people, but it's almost like that business that got banned in many states of like payday loans, when people needed kind of short-term cash loans, and we're paying, basically they compared it to loan sharking. Okay. And it was 200 and 300% payback on some of these quick loans. So guys, just be careful and stop speedballing. You know what I mean? Like stop trying to, sometimes it's good to make stuff happen, but if something's not happening for a reason and you need to be obedient and be a good steward of something, or be a good partner, or wait for the people that are teamed up with you, why don't you just do that sometimes? Because you might actually have a better result working as 2 rather than 1, especially like in a marriage. I don't know. I'm just thinking yeah. Predatory lending. Thank you, Steph. Steph, you are right in here with me. Buyer beware, of course. Yes. I mean, if you got to do what you got to do what you got to do, but I mean, $13,000 is a nice sum of money. And I'm sure it took, a good amount of discipline to save that money. Whether it was a one good YouTube check or not, you had to sit and do a whole lot of shit to earn that cash. Yeah, I wouldn't just be giving $13,000 for someone to make interest off of that. Yeah, you need a 620 or higher for FHA loan. I mean, I don't know what, like, okay. So Olivia, once again, me personally, I'm not buying all the stuff you're saying about Gerard. I'm just not. I don't know what he did when you guys closed the doors, and I'm sorry if anything ever happened to you that was horrible and horrific and that shouldn't have happened. But what I'm going to say is this. How many different life rafts, you know, how many different times do you have to be saved? How many different times do you have to break up to make up? to move away, for him to follow, for you to follow, for him to leave, for you to leave, for all of these things, for you guys to just one day really realize, like, you know what? We're hot for each other. We make good love. We have pretty babies. But damn it, I don't like you. I don't love you. I don't like you. I don't love you. You kind of get on my nerves. Maybe sometimes, like, if I haven't had a half a bottle of wine, I don't think you're so attractive. Like, whatever it is, be honest. Just be honest. Just be real with yourself and say, you know what? This isn't working. And it hurts. It's gonna hurt because you're letting a dream go. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to let the dream go. But the best thing is that when you can get the new dream and you can say, oh my God, I let it go. You know, whether he says I let it go and I think, to me, my impression is that he moved on in the way that he did, not to really hurt Olivia, like in the worst way possible. I think for him to really do something that was going to make her, like, just go away, like, just short of me, like, leaving and never coming back. I need for you to just, I want you out my system, you know. And maybe he was even willing to sacrifice not seeing the kids for a little while to make that happen, just so he can be a whole and better man, and maybe to give her an opportunity to have what she wants. But no, she jumps on a U-Haul. See, last time he packed the U-Haul and drove and brought it to you guys. You guys were getting on. I mean, it looked like you guys were going on a family trip. But now you're over here easy buttoning it for him, and you packed up everybody with the trailer and everything. It's like, girl. And you know what? And I want to say this too. You, what you've got twisted is the fact that you have given, before you guys got married, you were even calling yourself Johnson. So you were giving out wife benefits. You have basically were calling yourself Olivia Johnson, or Olivia Webb, excuse me. And you didn't even have a marriage certificate. You didn't even have a deed. You didn't even get a ceremony. So once again, easy buttoning it. You know, you're not shortchanging anybody but yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you like to cheat yourself out of milestones. You pretended to get a GED. You pretended to buy your first house. You pretended to be married. Guys, remember when they used to have the Mr. and Mrs. over their bed? Let me show you. You see this Mr. and Mrs. I got over here? She used to have one of those over her bed. Like, gigantic, like ginormous. It was almost like a joke. It actually was a joke. It became such a joke that she finally had to get rid of it because it was just hilarious. People were giving them the business about that when it really was exposed that they were really not married. Yeah, she's trying to get that 100K, but okay. She'll get it. I mean, keep posting. I mean, at the end of the day, the recipe for YouTube is simple. You create, you post, and you interact with your audience. And you create, and you post, and you interact with your audience. I mean, as long as you do that, yeah, you will get your subscribers. Now, will everyone get to 100,000? No, everybody will not get to 100,000. She is closer to 100,000 than many. And at the end of the day, she will get to 100,000 because you're right there. She needs less than 10% of her total number. She'll get that. Whether it takes her a year or it takes like the next 2 weeks, she'll get it. So she doesn't even have to try. She's on her way. As long as she's posting and doing her lives or answering her comments, you know, she's being active with her community, and then she's putting up more content, she'll get it. Now, will she get to 1 million? That's not for me to say. I don't know that that's what she wants. But, I don't know. But I just find that I could go on and on and on about how many situations where she has just put on her, you know, how she just wants to get it done, and she doesn't give people the opportunity to do it, and then she's going to fault you for not doing it. You know what I mean? So whatever on that. Let me segue to Jasmine really quick. Now, Jasmine, another person who is just can't sit her behind down for just a minute and let someone do something. Now, you guys might say I'm wrong. Chris, I think, probably likes Jasmine. You know, I know I've said this before. Chris likes Jasmine. I think Chris completely messed up by not telling Jasmine when he realized who Asia was and that they had crossed paths before, because I think that there's nothing worse for someone. I don't even want to say a woman. I think anyone, people hate to be played the fool. Okay. And when anybody knew, especially Philip, as many times as you've talked to Philip, clearly Philip knew what the deal was. Philip didn't tell you. I think Philip was probably hoping for an opportunity for another blow up, which is why he, you know, is always stoking that fire a little bit. I feel like he gave you a clue so he can always fall back on, I told you not to date him, but he knows Jasmine, and Jasmine's not going to do anything he tells her to do, especially when there's some, you know, DI involved, because that's her kryptonite. And hey, repping for BK, New York. Hey, everyone who's come in the last little bit. I'm on my iPad, different setup. So if I miss saying hello to you, you guys know that I appreciate you guys coming through. And, you know, I love talking these three mommies, and getting all caught up on these little YouTube soap operas, right? So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming in. If you're watching this on the replay, don't forget to hit the like button. And, but yeah, we're talking about Jasmine really quick. Hey, Carolina. Hi, Bird Angel. Jasmine was so thirsty to have someone up in that bed that she didn't even give him a chance to figure out who this guy really was. You know, how do you know Philip? Did she know? I don't know. I really don't believe she knew, because she hates Asia with a passion. Of course, I watched it, Cheryl. There was enough people in the chat. So, plus I was putting my daughter to bed, as you guys know, because I had done the live right before. And I was telling you guys that Kels was going live at 9:30. So yeah, I wasn't in the bushes, but I was like, you know, you know how you go to a concert in the summer and you sit back in your lawn chair? I was just sitting in my lawn chair. I wasn't hiding in the bushes. I was just sitting on the yard. I was watching and enjoying the show, you know, as it was going on, like at the amphitheater. I was just enjoying my evening, laying in bed with my headphones, and I saw there was like plenty of boots on the ground. It was an excellent conversation. I enjoyed it very much. So, but I had talked to Asia earlier in DM on Instagram. So I had done a live right before, just a quick 30-minute, you know, what was going on. And it's titled Dear John. So if you hadn't seen it, I thought you were in there yesterday, Cheryl. But if you hadn't seen it, Cheryl, go listen to Dear John, because I asked a couple of questions, which I'm going to talk about again right now, really quickly. Because at the moment, you know, the whole thing with Asia, yeah, I mean, it's to me, I almost feel like we don't even really need to talk about it, just because Chris had a life before he met Jasmine, clearly. I really would like to know when Jasmine met Chris. Is he the guy that she was talking to over Mother's Day? Is he one of the guys that when she was having false pregnancy scares, or taking, you know, plan Bs like Tic Tacs, or having terminations, was this guy in the mix? That's what I want to know. Because we know he had a girlfriend at some point, but where did Chris enter the scene? But I'm sure at this point, after what's happened, yeah, if Chris is smart, he's going to zip that lip so tight. Yeah, we're probably not going to hear from Chris again. But, you know, that may not be a bad thing. It'd be a good thing for Jasmine. Obviously not good for these YouTube streets, because we love when Chris gets started. I mean, John. Let's see. I was watching Malou. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's any. Chris is a smooth operator. That's it. He knows jazz. A sandwich short of a picnic. Oh my God, Destiny 44. I mean, he's not like a Shakespearean scholar either. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because he's got 2 legs and 2 hands and what appears to be a working member to create more folks in this society doesn't make him like a prize. I mean, he's just a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jasmine can have a man. I mean, he doesn't seem, look, he's not top notch. I'm just going to say it. Like, okay. And you're like, Francoise, who are you? How do you know what top notch is? I do. I do know what top notch is. So Jasmine, I don't know what to tell you to do. I would say run. I would say run and don't stop. Put your good Nike Air Max on and run, or rather get that camera on, put that camera on and do like a clean with me in form of ex-boyfriend edition, and pack that hat rack up and start packing up his clothes and say, you know what, we're gonna do a rewind and we're gonna start from the beginning. Okay. I'm gonna need to build this trust back up again, and in the form of, yeah, us not playing house. Basically, they're playing house. Did you guys notice this morning? Is it just me, or did it seem like he took the girls to school? I'm just asking. I'm just asking and checking. She got up, she made lunch, she made some cute little bento box looking lunch sets. She got the little cuties, the little orange clementines out there. She made a well-balanced lunch. She was brushing teeth and washing faces. She was being such an attentive mama today. She got the kids ready for school, and then she was sipping on some coffee like a suburban stay-at-home housewife. And then I never saw her take them to school. But homie's downstairs in the garage, and I think he took the girls to school. I don't know if she takes them to the bus or what. And there's nothing wrong with that, but this is your boyfriend of like 6 or 7, 8 weeks, or maybe it's your boyfriend of a couple of years. I don't know. But yeah, you got him taking your kids to school. Is he even on paperwork? Can he take kids to school? Like, okay. And maybe you needed a minute with the twins, but they were asleep. So that would have been easy breezy, because you did a couple of things. You went and made beds, all kinds of stuff before you went and got the twins. You know, you let them out of their room before you opened. I'm going to say something funny. I mean, I don't know if that's when they got up, but it appears that when she lets them out, okay, of their domicile, and they come running out, it's like, how did they just wake up when they're standing up? I mean, it looked like the little girl just got up, because I felt like I saw a saggy diaper. So maybe she had, you know, she still had her little pull up on from the night before. But I would imagine if the girls left at 7, 8 o'clock and you're potty training, you didn't get the twins up just to sit them on the toilet, just to go pee pee and put them on a fresh pull, like wipe them up, put on a fresh pull up, and let them lay back down if they were still sleepy. Or I was like, was there anything in between of you letting them out of their domicile to them sitting down and having their little cereal breakfast in those big ginormous salad bowls? I hope you did not sit those babies down in those squishy, wet, overnight diapers. There's nothing that makes me like Farrah even threw up in my hair once when she was a baby. But there's nothing that makes me more sick than to see a saggy, pee-filled pamper or pull up in the morning. That makes me so sick. I used to change Farrah's diapers so much because I could not stand seeing those, you know, they have like a LA sag. It looks like they're one of the homies. You got like even it messes up a whole outfit, and they got the like total LA sag on that, and the diaper stinks because it's from overnight and it's full of pee. But she let the kids out. They were like, hey mom, thanks for letting us out the room. And they go straight to go sit down. Now, I don't know. This could have been staged. So she could have actually gone in. I would think, hey, moms out here, do you not like change a diaper when your kids wake up in the morning? They pee pee, and you take off the overnight shirt because it's probably wet. And then you freshen them up, get some wipes or a warm rag and give them a nice wipe up and get them nice and fresh with a clean t-shirt. Even though you know it's going to get dirty because they're getting ready to eat. But she said at over 2 years old, I think they need bibs. Now, if you had, Farrah had those kinds, sometimes they were like terry cloth, and it had like a shirt type collar, like a crew neck, and it was almost like a towel material. Those were the ones that she had for when she was an older age. Why don't they have bibs at 2? Why have you not been putting something over the kids, a smock, anything? Fran, I screamed when she said that. Oh my God. She don't know. It's not even so much neglect. I think it's just mom, she's not, okay. It's just not mom-tastic behavior, okay? Like, and you've got the camera on, okay? I'm just going to preface this with and you're filming. And at the end of the video, you're asking, hey, do you want promos? Guys, I don't know. There's 221 people here right now. Has anyone paid for a promo from Jasmine? Because who wants to advertise their channel with the baby mama of an ex-pimp who is now the girlfriend to a former John, who is part of Mommianagang, who basically has gone ghost on you? I don't know where your girl's at. I mean, where your girl's at, Jasmine? Where's Chrissy? Where's Chrissy? Has Ming called you? Have you called Liv? Like, where's everybody at? Where is everybody? I mean, has the phone rang? Did you guys see one day this week, Jasmine was like, she got all up in the thing. She was like, hey, bitch, I called you. Call me back. Because Chrissy was like, hey, girl, what's up? She's like, hey, bitch, I called you. Call me back. I was like, Jasmine, if the only way to get in touch with your friend is when she dips in on one of your lives just to make sure that people haven't forgotten about her, because she's over there trying to make the most out of her time, snuggling up to her warm body, because she was like, look, cuffing season began in April for me. I've been trying to get me a boo for a hot minute. Now I got one. Y'all don't have to worry about me messing anything up, because that last scare, yeah, I got some good adversaries out here, and maybe I can't bring it like I used to. So I'm just going to go ahead and sit down, because she's got some self-awareness now that, yes, I'm a mother of 9, and I officially have turned in my cool card, and it's over. It's a wrap. So if I sit down and try to be a lady out here just a little bit, maybe I can hold on to what I got and not look foolish out here like the rest of these girls I used to hang out with. I mean, Ming's trying to bring Chrissy around people with 1 million subscribers and people who have managers and people who have plans for their channels and their future. Ming can only bring a horse to water. You can't make him drink. So if Chrissy is really trying to separate herself and try and be in that echelon of people who are in Houston, who are doing YouTube in a big way and not look stupid and foolish. Me personally, I would stay as far away from, and I hate to say it, Jasmine, you got to level up and you got to let this dead weight go. Chris is not a good look for you. And I'm going to tell you why. Your children are brothers and sisters to another woman who, yeah, you guys have had some like weird run-ins with each other in terms of paths crossing, but at the end of the day, you guys are going to be dealing with each other for a very long time. And just because you may not want to know her doesn't mean that your kids won't either, because there's not enough bad things that you can say to someone about someone to make them not want to get to know their brother and their sister. Also, Olivia, to you too, there's not a lot that you can say to make your kids think anything less of their dad, because that's just shitty on your part. And I think that's probably what your mother did to you, which is why you're so salty and screwed up. But you need to realize that, yeah, he may not have been what you needed, and you may not have been what he needed, but as parents, you will never be considered a good mom if you are sitting there trashing their dad. I don't care how bad their dad is. In your mind, that's shitty. That's shitty work, trashing their dad. And I doubt that he is sitting around trashing you. I just find that very hard to believe that he would sit around and even talk about you for 5 minutes, because he's got a whole new woman. And if that woman is worth any of her salt, she would be like, excuse me, yeah, we don't talk about her around here. Okay? So, but yeah, Chrissy is probably like, yeah, I'm going to just sit over here and be quiet. So, and that's it. Like, I don't know. I guess this is kind of a Wednesday Three Moms update. I mean, give me free. What'd you say? Give me free. Chris is a bad look, and he is way too comfortable with his leeching butt. Yeah, see, we don't know that he's not paying rent, but what we do know is that when he realized that Jasmine, that Asia was around, and that Asia was someone who he knew and never told Jasmine that, I think that that is something that should have been told. Like, she shouldn't be finding out about this because I'm talking about it this morning. You know what I mean? Like, or that it was getting posted on a website. Like, she should have already known this. Like, hey, you know, I realized, you know, when you guys were mentioning Asia, I didn't realize that was the same person. Maybe they called her Lovely, or they called her, you know, Rosebud, or I don't know. Maybe they called her Asia, whatever it is. But when you saw her and you knew what the hell was going on, and you had that, oh my God, that's her. Oh my God. That was your opportunity to fess up and come clean. And Philip is also wrong, because Philip never said anything, and Philip knew everything of what was going on. Philip made a decision to just sit back and let shit unfold, and, you know, be the puppeteer that he is, because all of you guys are, you know, getting played really and truly by Philip. And Philip's pulling everybody's strings. You know, because I mean, to me, if someone knows Philip, and Philip basically was busy because all he was doing was running women and having babies and running more women, chances are the men that he knows are in that same circle, whether they're buying or supplying. You know, at a certain point, when you're in a certain type of business, you're either, you know, you're either a customer or you're serving. And Chris was a customer. And Philip was serving and managing. Okay? So when you knew he knew Philip, you should have been looking like, how in the world do you know my baby father? Like, I'm going to need to hear more about this, because when you know that the man you deal with ain't shit, and you meet someone that knows him, well, then you might want to do your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, I don't think that that makes him a completely horrible boyfriend and makes it that he doesn't really like you. But what I'm gonna say is I would make him hit the rewind button, and if you decide that you want to stay with him, I would be really concerned that he pay where you lay, okay? Pay where you lay or pay for play, okay? Um, I would be really concerned about the truth in terms of lapses in judgment where you don't think I need to know something. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, I'm not gonna say him, but let's just say any of you ladies, your boyfriend took your kids to the mall and he had a car accident. Nobody got hurt, but your car's been damaged and your kids were in a car accident, okay? And but there's really not a lot of damage to your car. Like everybody's okay. It was like a bumper. It was a fender bender. Um, wouldn't you want to know? Or is it okay to say, well, no, the car was fine, the kids were fine. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, and then the insurance company's like, hi, Ms. So and so. Um, the person that hit your car or whatever, the person that was involved in the accident the other day, and you're like, accident? What accident? What happened? Well, the other morning. Well, no, that couldn't have happened. I wasn't driving. My friend, my man was driving the kids to the mall. And but you're like the last, like every, like there was an accident. Oh, there's damage. You're filing against my insurance. Okay, well, were the kids okay? Like, what happened? Like, you didn't tell me anything. Like, nothing. I don't know anything. This is what happened to Jasmine. Like, that is so wrong on so many levels, to not tell someone what they need to know to not look stupid. And it's not that she did anything wrong. What I think, though, is it was a lack of regard for her feelings. It was a judgment lapse in his even being aware that something like that is something she needs to know immediately. And that was wrong. That was wrong. That would be, I'm gonna need for you to leave. Like, maybe we can still talk a little bit, but we're not, I don't want you living here with me anymore. Like, that was like, and you also, I've been doing this YouTube thing for about 7-8 years, and yeah, I've suffered some embarrassment. I've had to take some L's, but yeah, man, like, I can't go live now for probably like about a month, which is like Jasmine cutting off her right leg because she is so addicted to that go live button, that I see that she is going to, this might be the best thing for her, and it could be one of the worst things for her because she's very hooked. But if she goes dark in terms of being able to go live because she's so embarrassed about what happened, I guarantee you a month from now, girl, that belly gonna be popping. Because if she would pay attention to her man like she should, let me tell you, you remember in was that Belly when Nas and T-Boz got into that fight, that argument, and then they go at it. Am I remembering this correctly? Any of you guys, any of my friends from the 90s, did you guys see Belly? And with DMX and Nas, I mean, it is a classic, so I'm assuming we all have, right? Right? Take your L's like a lady. Take your L's like a lady, okay? We did that lesson last week. Jasmine, if you're watching, go to my video, taking an L like a lady, okay? Admit your mistakes, lick your wounds, get up, dust yourself off, and keep it moving like a G. Because if you can take a L like a lady, you're actually a G, okay? But, yeah, I bet you he probably is going to try to give her zaddy brain on 10. He's probably, because no hobo guy wants to get kicked out. He probably is going to go to work with those teeth. Okay, he's going to give her, he's gonna check in as the head doctor, right? You know what I'm talking about. He's gonna give her that good loving, and say, fuck them, it's me. He's going to give her the Bonnie and Clyde speech. Jasmine, listen to me, mark my words, because I'm hip to game. He's going to give you the, it's the us against the world. We're Jay-Z and B out here. We are Bonnie and Clyde. And then he is going to go to work as, he's going to check in his head doctor. And then he's going to play you some hoops, some strip hoops, right? Yes, pineapples. They're going to play strip hoops. And he's going to set it up with Mom Dukes because, you know, hey, Ma. He's probably calling her Ma already. Hey, Ma. Ma, can I drop the girls off over? Can I drop the girls off over? I need to give Jasmine like a special evening. I need to make it real special, and I need to give her her $80 back, and I'm going to have it like a bunch of ones, and I'm going to make it rain in the bathroom, her favorite room of the house. Now I'm being bad. But I'm going to make it rain with $80 on the bed, and I'm going to go get her some of that Bath and Body Works that she likes. Thank you, Sammy Dizzle. Thank you for putting that out there, guys. If you want to tip your host, be my guest. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and lay it out. He's going to get her. And then she's going to be like, guys, fuck you. Like, she's going to, that's, you know, when Jasmine comes on and she basically cusses everybody out. He's going to pump her up with some energy and adrenaline to give her like a little bit of like a Teflon coat. But what I'm telling you is this, John, if you're watching, you better come clean and you better tell her everything she needs to know. And I mean, like this afternoon before the kids come home, because I don't think, unless Jasmine, you are just a complete numbskull, that you, excuse me guys, I'm sorry, that you can bear one more F up like this. I don't think it can happen. I don't think he can do it. Do you guys think they met on Plenty of Fish? So Bird Angel, you're saying the way, oh gosh, the chat's moving fast. Bird Angel, I'm sorry, I lost your comment. Jazz told his son that they share the car when he asked whose car it was. I'm sorry. You're 33 years old and you don't have a vehicle? Yeah, you're lame. I'm sorry. If that offends anyone in this chat, I apologize. But a 33-year-old man in Texas, I don't know if their bus system is on point over there. It's not like it's New York or Chicago or a city with like an amazing, you know, public transportation system. And maybe it is, but even a get here on the wing and a prayer type vehicle, even a car that when you go outside, you're like, hey, can I get a jump? I'm sorry. Okay. Let me be serious. Can I get a jump? Do they still sell like $500 cars? I don't know. Or $1,000 car. Can you not still get a car for like on the cheap? A hoopty? And I know dunks are expensive now. I mean, you got to make a dunk, but I mean, dunks are popular here. I'm in North Carolina. I don't know. We're there in Dallas. Yeah, dunks are, I mean, but those cars cost. And people buying even the shells of those cars, I mean, you got to have a little bit of money. At the auction, just go buy you like a 2000 Honda Accord, you know? But them little kids, them little 17-year-olds, they love those things that make them go turbo, like Fast and Furious. Get you a Fast and Furious, not souped up. I mean, damn, you're 33 and you have a job, but you have no car. Like, that tells me you are getting your ass tore down on child support. Maybe he doesn't make a lot of money, so we're not going to ding him for that. I mean, that is what it is. But, you know, we all make choices in life, sir. And we're going to need for you to start to make some better choices so that you can up your earning potential, because there's a thing called hypergamy. And if Jasmine would wise up, she's a good looking woman. If she would get herself out of this schlumpadump, she could start doing something, and she could say, you know what, I'm gonna level up. I'm gonna go find me a guy who actually has a car. Then she could say, well, I'm gonna find one that's got like a 401k plan and a bank account, and maybe who's not a zaddy, maybe somebody who is not gonna lie to me, maybe someone who has not had um weird entanglements with my immediate circle of friends and foes and exes and baby father and baby moms of my ex. Maybe I'm gonna get somebody out of my maybe I'm gonna venture out of my circle. Okay, I mean, you are a social media personality. What did she say? Social media. I don't know what she said, but she said something silly that made me laugh the other day. I was like, girl, stop it. Things was getting too personal, and to have Asia tell her story from the beginning was so not necessary. Well, Patricia, there are some people who didn't really know the full story, but yeah, we should invest. There's a lot out there, so you could invest some time. I think the one thing is that we do deal with a lot of, everybody wants to know what the hell's going on. And there's a lot of information out here. There's a lot of storytelling. There's a lot of, I go live. I would go live. I've got a lot of videos up. That can tell you the story. So on that side, I agree with you. The story has already been told. However, with having 12 and 1,300 people in a live and some people not being familiar with the story, in defense of that, I understand why the hosts went back to a little bit of the beginning so they could lay the groundwork a little bit. So I don't know that they were trying to be like, gratuitous in terms of making her remember things that she didn't want to. But to your point, it's a tough story. And that's why I have a fondness for Asia. I think she's a very sweet woman, and I know that she's been through a lot. So from her perspective, I don't really go deep on that story, because a lot of what happened to her and weren't necessarily choices that she was able to make. And thankfully she made it out of it and she's alive today, because we know that a lot of women are in that situation and don't make it out for one reason or another. So yeah, it's tough. It's very tough. That aspect of the story is I don't even really like to talk about, because I know that she's a victim and yeah. It's it's awful. But again, it's a story that needed to be told, and I understand why they did it, and asked those questions. And, I'm sure that there were some people who did not know everything. So, and she seemed comfortable with answering what she needed to, or felt comfortable talking about. Oh, well, Overtown, thank you. And I mean, I've talked, I was going back and forth with Asia on Instagram, and maybe it was my bad. I didn't ask for an interview. And, I talked to Kels yesterday before she did the interview, and I was offered an opportunity to be there, but Kels has a really nice platform, and I think that it was great that she had the opportunity to have that on her channel, and I think she did a good job. I really did. So, but yeah, I mean, Asia and I will meet again, of course. I mean, I'm in contact with her on Instagram, and I don't really speak on it like that, because I don't, you know what I mean? Like, she knows how to get in contact with me if she ever needs some YouTube help, things like that. And I've made myself available to her if she needs me or needs to reach out to me about anything. So, and she's a very sweet person. I hate, I'm gonna be really honest. I'm gonna take my funny hat off for a second. Last year, when I found out about what happened and I put two and two together about Jasmine's involvement in this, I was like thoroughly disgusted with Jasmine. I don't hate Jasmine. I don't know Jasmine, but in terms of like her soap opera, her channel, her show, her based on a true story, whatever's real, whatever's not real, all the stuff that she serves up for us to watch. I lost a whole lot of respect for her as a woman, seeing and knowing that some of these girls were doing what they were doing, and some of them were not in, they were against their will. They were being held against their will, maybe being given substances, I don't know. It was just, I was like, oh really? Because I mean, she's over there picking up money, she knows where the money was coming from that was paying for bills. And Jasmine, as a woman, to me, hearing from Asia how much Philip used to talk about her and how lazy she was and how unmotivated she was, and that he just had so many options. When you see this guy and you see that he had a lot of tremendous amount of power over many women that he had children with and all kinds of stuff like that, it makes me like, damn, who is this guy? And even today, still pulling the strings. He's someone who, to me, you're gonna have to miss me, sir. Like, I wouldn't have nothing to do with that guy. That guy is some bad freaking news, okay? Momo Bean, happy birthday. Yes, it is Scorpio season. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I started watching Jazz last summer. I didn't realize that she had all this going on with Philip and Asia. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you this, Ms. Purple. What I can say is this. There's a lot of people who just watch the videos, right? If you just watch the videos, it's quite possible you would miss that because she's doing all kinds of clean with me, watch me clean up my dirty, filthy house, watch me try on these okay looking clothes, I'm cooking, yay, watch me make tacos. If you don't watch the lives, which the lives are deathly boring, okay? For me, if I know Jasmine went live, I'm gonna wait about 30 to 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna give you guys a little trick. I'm gonna hit you up to some game, okay? This is what I do. When Jasmine goes live, so I get my phone, right? And then I'm gonna hit the three buttons, right? And then I'm gonna go to playback speed. And then you hit like 1.25 or 1.5. Let it start. Let it get going for about a half an hour. And then Jasmine does not delete lives. You know why? Because Jasmine's about that money, okay? She's not going to delete a live because she knows that that's her money. And Jasmine really has no shame. So you never really have to worry about Jasmine like missing a live and how like Olivia is like bloop gone. Yeah, no. Olivia, I don't know that she doesn't care. I don't know. Olivia's different, but Olivia puts up a lot of content typically, so maybe she doesn't care about the lives, and she knows her lives are so freaking off the chain that YouTube might not pay her for them anyway because the subject matter is so far to the left that they couldn't sell advertising on it. Period, you know. So, yeah. See if I wrote down anything else. Guys, I took like freaking copious notes this week. This is a personal question, but Jasmine, I really would love to know how many guys you dated this year. I'm just going to ask it since I basically said everything else. Why not? How many? Because not that that makes a difference. You're single. You're not a married woman. But when Olivia said that you take Plan Bs like Tic Tacs, what did she really mean? You got a mod in here tripping. Mommy vibes. What's going on? Okay, let's do this, Mommy vibes. Go ahead. Can you email me? Just email me, because I don't want to get anything started in the chat, and I'm pretty much wrapped up. Because I had to do a whole different setup anyway. So go ahead. Exactly. She has no shame. She has no shame. Go ahead, send me an email and we'll talk about it, okay? Um, because you know, I'm gonna just say it like this. You guys who mod, like we don't have mod meetings. I don't give any sets of instructions or anything like that. The mods who are here on their own free will. They support me, and maybe sometimes like, hey guys, this is what I'd like you to do, not like you to do. I mean, I know some chats you go in, you say one thing that may seem a little bit left. People are like blocking and tackling, and I think it's like a freaking football game going on. I don't really set that kind of pace. I just feel like as long as everybody is respectful, everybody can state their opinions, and people don't have to always agree, but we don't have to be disagreeable with each other. So I always want everyone to feel like you can come in and state your piece and it's fine. So that's that on that. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know. I'll have to go back and look at it, guys. Um, okay. So let's shut it down. Guys, if you want to win a $25 Cash App, go ahead, look at my video yesterday, Dear John. I think I started off with telling you how to win the Cash App. Go check that video out. Also, if you want to get some history on the battle for the bottom, um, go to my community page. There's 2 videos I posted. It was roughly about 11 months ago, maybe almost a year at this point, when a lot of this first came out, and some of the awful, horrible things. So the person who made the comment that they started watching Jasmine last October, go check out my community page and check out the 2 videos. Usually, guys, for any of you who are new, don't forget to comment. If you have any additional comments, don't forget to like this live, share it if you'd like to. But typically, a couple times a week, I will put a throwback in my community posts, and it may have something to do with what we are currently So, sip tea in these YouTube streets. The interview was crazy, and it's people on this platform who file to past and present. I don't even know what that means. Radio said everyone's treating her like a celebrity. I don't even check out people's channels she promotes. Anybody who wants to tell me anything about anything that was in this chat that you think I need to see, I'm not going to call out anyone's names, but you know who you are. If there's something that you think I need to see, go ahead and screenshot it now. Send it to me in email just so I can get an idea of what the hell was going on. Because, guys, I'm here for entertainment. I'm trying to get you caught up, get you up to speed, talk about some things that I think that you guys want to talk about. I don't have any respect for Jasmine or her mother. They both knew that Philip was doing the young girls. Okay, say it one more time. And they sat by and did nothing. Jazz and her mother has no. Yeah, it's a shit show basically, Deborah. So we're gonna close it out on that, because you know what. The winner this week is Chrissy, who is staying as far out of the way as she most possibly can. And you know what? That's the best plan of action. I think that she's smart, and if I were her, I would be laying low. But guys, yeah, Erica, thank you. Erica, yeah, so if you guys have anything to tell me, just send me a note, and we will talk about it. We'll take care of it. So, or we'll just discuss it, right? Because we're all grown, we're all adults here. Um, Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate it. Take care, and I will see you later on these streets. I'm sure I'll be posting something. Bye.